This video is going to focus on solving compound inequalities and the different ways that you can represent those answers. So a compound inequality is two different inequalities, or maybe more, but normally just two, that are either connected by an and or an or. So if it's and, it means that both of those inequalities are true, and if it's or, it means that one or the other is true. So this problem that we have here is an or compound inequality. It says that 3x minus 6 is greater than 6, or 4x minus 4 is less than 4. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to solve this like any other inequality. So looking at this first one, we're going to add 6 to both sides. So we have 3x is greater than 12. Divide both sides by 3, so we find out that x is greater, whoops, that's not what that is, x is greater than 4. And then on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. So add 4 to both sides. So we have that 4x is less than 8. Divide by 4 to get that x is less than 2. And the important thing to remember here is that we want to bring down this or. So this means that only one of these is true. Either x is less than 2 or x is greater than 4. That means that x can't be anything in between those two numbers. So one way that we can represent this compound inequality is on a number line. So if we look at this first one, x is greater than 4. So we're going to go to 4, and because this is not greater than or equals, it's just a normal greater than, we're going to have an open circle over 4. If it were this, we would use a closed circle, but because it's this, we use an open one, okay? So our compound inequality says that x is greater than 4, so we go from 4, oops. We go from 4 and we go out this way because x is greater than it. So now this other one, x is less than 2. So we're going to go to 2, and because, again, it is this one, we're going to use an open circle. If it were less than or equal to, sorry, we would use a closed circle, but it's not. So, and we say that x is less than 2, so it's going to go this way. So this right here, this is how you would represent this compound inequality on a number line. We can also represent it using interval notation, which is something that is very, very important in calculus classes. Your teachers are always going to want your answers in interval notation. So this means that we're going to set up two different intervals. If you have 3 inequalities, you use 3 intervals and whatever. Our middle word is or. That means that we're going to put this symbol in the middle. This is called an intersection symbol. So it reads this piece or this piece. If we were using and, we would go ahead and use the upside down of the intersection symbol, which is called the union. Okay, so that's just a little bit of vocab for you, something to remember. If it's something and something, use the union. Okay, if it's something or something, use the intersection. So this green inequality, if we look on our number line, the green inequality is the one that shows up on the left. So that's going to end up transforming into our left bracket, or left interval. So this says that x is less than 2. So if we look at this arrow here, this is going off in the direction of negative infinity. So this says that in this area, the interval that x can appear on, x can be between negative infinity and 2. And then if we look on this side, this says that x can be between 4 and positive infinity. So this down here is the answer represented in interval notation.